Hi everybody, welcome to my hillside urban garden. Today we're going to do a drought tolerant container today. And we're going to talk a little bit about some drought tolerant plants. So here in California right now it's mid-July, and you know, we don't have as much water as we used to. So I'm finding for myself that I'm planting more plants that don't need a lot of water. Now I have found this plant that is actually a dual purpose for me, and that is a Euphorbia. Um, it's a beautiful plant, and if you can see, it almost looks like a succulent, but it comes in all different colors of leaves and different shapes. This is a Euphorbia. So is this one here, and we even have this one here with the variegated leaves, which is one of my favorites. This has variegated leaves too. So the dual purpose that I'm talking about is that these are drought tolerant plants. So they don't need as much water as like zinnias and things like that that I normally put in containers. The second thing about these is that they do really well in the soil. They don't need really good soil. And the nickname for these plants was what my neighbor told me, is that people call them gopher plants. And the reason being is that these actually deter gophers. It gives off a little bit of some kind of scent or something that they don't like. So if you plant them around an area that the gophers are getting into, it's possible that you can deter some of them by planting this plant, because they will not eat the roots of a euphorbia. So some people, like I said, call these gopher plants, but they are, the proper name is a euphorbia, and you can get these at most of your local nurseries. I have a nursery that carries probably a half a dozen to a dozen different types. So kind of exciting to find this, because I love the shape of the leaves and the different colors. So we're going to be planting up this container today. So this container here had a Supertunia Bordeaux. I'll put a picture up there. But it was the second season, and because I can't give it as much water as it needs, it looked awful. It was like half dead. So I took it out of this container, threw the soil out. What did I throw it out? I put it out into the regular garden, and I've got all new potting mix in here. And my potting mix has the slow release fertilizer in it, so we don't need to add any of it to this potting mix. If your potting mix does not have it in there, you want to go ahead and add it at the time that we're putting the plants in. So I'm going to be planting this Euphorbia today, and we're going to put it in this pot. I have two other pretty drought tolerant plants too, and that is a blanket flower and a coneflower. These here I actually started from seed, and I still have a few of these left over to plant. I thought this would be a great opportunity to plant it around the Euphorbia and let that grow. So let's get started in getting these things planted. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a hole in here. I'm going to put this one kind of at the back. So depending on where you're going to plant it, if you're going to plant it out where you can see it from all the way around, you want to put it where it's pleasing to you to look at. For me, I have this up against a retaining wall, so I know that it's the front that everybody is going to see, so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the tall plant in the back and the smaller plants out in front. So we got that one in here, and remember, we've got to take the tag out. We always read the tag to make sure that we're putting like plants together. Very important for your watering. So we're going to do the V. We always do the V to get the plants out. So you can either do the V here or do the Vulcan sign. And we're going to put our hand around here, around the pot, and then we're going to turn it over. We're going to give it a couple bangs. It's going to release, and we're going to pull it off. There we go. So you can see it's got a really nice root system there. We're going to put our hand over the bottom. We're going to turn it over. So we've lost very, very little of the soil in here. So we're just going to put it down in here. We're going to place it the way that we want to see it, and we're going to kind of just snug it in here just a bit. We're going to dig another hole, and we're going to put in the coneflower. And again, do the same thing. I'm going to just give it a little squeeze. I'm going to do the V here, which kind of protects. I'm going to hold on to the plant. I'm going to squeeze it here, give it a couple taps, and it releases, and there it goes. So even for the seeds, that works too. Yeah, I figured this was going to be a little root bound, but being in the smaller container, if it doesn't get really big, I'm okay with that. So a coneflower, another name for it is an echinacea. It attracts bees, and it's got some medicinal purposes if you want to make a tea or something from it. So I'm going to put that probably right here, and I'm going to lean it out just a little bit, because that's how I want it to look. So you place the plants what is most pleasing to you. So the last one we have here is what you call a blanket flower. And this comes in all different colors. You can get red, you can get yellow, or you can get like an orange. This one here, I think it's like the orange. This is kind of one of my favorite ones. But again, the same thing to get it. We've dug our little hole here. To get it out, we just do a little squeezing. We're going to do the V. We're going to hold on to the plant. We're going to turn it over, give it a couple pats. Now let's do another squeeze. There it goes. That one's really root bound. I'm going to tease them just a little bit on this particular one. Now we're going to put it in the ground. We're going to get in there and give it a little push. And there we go. Look how nice that is. Really pretty. I got my brush here. I'm just going to clean it up a bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my my little watering can, and I'm going to just give it a shot of liquid fertilizer. That's really good to help plants with shock, and it gives them a nice little boost to get started. So, and then I don't have to water this every day when it's warm, or maybe even every other day I don't have to water it. But because these are drought tolerant, they should do much better than the Super Tunia that I had. So a couple of these get little flowers on there, so I'm looking forward to those. But go out there, look for some alternatives to water-loving plants. I plant some couple of your containers into drought-tolerant plants, and it will save a little bit of water. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and also forgot to tell you, again, gophers, if you got gophers, plant some of these Euphorbias. The gophers won't like them. So again, thanks for watching the video, and always remember to be safe in the garden. Always wear your hat and your sunscreen. Thanks, everybody.